Hey guys, today is going to be the first of hopefully many theory videos about the future of the Halo universe. Today we're going to be taking a look at that crazy, open-ended, out-of-the-blue legendary ending. Warning, conspiracy theory ahead. Equip your tinfoil hat now. You have been warned. Now, for this theory in particular, I'm going to be assuming that this ring is actually Installation 07, Zeta Halo, which is currently under Flood control. The Swords of Sanghelios and UNSC are sort of containing it and managing it and making sure that the Flood doesn't escape the ring, but currently this ring is under Flood control. Now this leads me to believe that the reason for Cortana'S corruption in Halo 5 and her almost turning against humanity is due to the logic plague. Now we're going to get into that later in the video, but first off I've got to talk about the domain. So the domain is a precursor construct that the Foreigners use to store all of their information about their entire ecumene, their culture, literally everything they stored in the domain, and it was used as sort of like the internet for the Foreigners. Think of it like that. All Foreigners could connect to it and get information from it, or more so the Foreigner ancillars that they had in their power suits and their armour could connect to it and get information from it to give to the Foreigners during battles, during expeditions, anything. They could literally use it as an encyclopedia, an instant access encyclopedia. Now, as the domain is technically a living thing, when the Halo ring is fired during the Foreigner Flood War in, I can't remember the exact year, but it was a very long time ago, obviously the Halo rings destroy all sentient life, as to destroy all food for the Flood, so they die out. Technically that means that the domain was destroyed, because the domain is a living thing, so the firing of the array would have destroyed the domain. That's just logic. However, in Halo 5 it does say on your HUD that Cortana and the Warden are speaking to you from the domain, and obviously we have that emotional scene where on Argent Moon where Cortana talks to Chief and she says the domain is open, Meridian is next. So that kind of confuses things, because we have two possible theories with this. The first theory is that somehow part of the domain survived the firing of the Halo arrays, which is quite unlikely unless it was really far out in the galaxy or in like another universe, or literally just so far away from the rings that they couldn't touch it, which I doubt. The second theory is that the Precursors returned after that and rebuilt the domain, or began rebuilding the domain, and Cortana and the Warden found the domain, or what was being rebuilt of the domain, and began utilising it. So before I get onto this next part of the theory, I just want to say a little bit about the relationship between the Foreigners and the Precursors. The Foreigners and the Precursors do not have a good relationship. The Foreigners basically betrayed the Precursors and wiped them all out before the Precursors could even react to it, so they do not have a good relationship. This is why I believe that the domain may be a trap set up by the remaining Precursors to get revenge on the Foreigners for what they did. Now, the reason I think this is because, as Cortana says in Halo 5, the domain can be used to cure rampancy. How perfect is that? That as Cortana goes rampant and is supposedly destroyed, she finds a cure for rampancy, something that humanity is pretty sure is incurable. So, now that the Precursors / Flood have Cortana trapped, they can infect her with logic plague and corrupt her against humanity. This is why I believe that she is using these Guardians to police and control all the planets in the universe. It basically doesn't let anybody on those planets go against what Cortana wants and go against the rule of her and the other AIs, which means that Installation 07 will not be guarded anymore. There'll be nobody to stop the Flood from breaking free off Installation 07, and thus the Precursors gaining control of the galaxy once again, because there's nobody to stop the Flood. Nobody can get to a Halo ring to fire it. Now I appreciate that this theory is very tenuous, and it doesn't actually explain why Cortana is supposedly activating the Halo ring in the legendary ending, but what if that just means that the Halo ring is becoming active again? That it's technically turning on, like its weather systems and its self-maintaining systems are turning on once again. And that's pretty much it for this theory. Yeah, like I said, it is a very tenuous theory, and it's probably not correct. Would it be cool if it was correct? Yes, because the Flood would come back in Halo 6, which I want, and I know a lot of other people want, but I also know a lot of people don't want the Flood back, and I can kind of see why, because they're a bit of a bitch to fight, but you know, they're a cool enemy. So, thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you think down below in the comments about this theory. Tell me your theories of your own about the ending of Halo 5 and where the Halo universe is going to go in the future. And the next theory will probably be covering the Covenant in Halo 6, which is something I really want to focus on after hearing about Halo Escalation's ending and how everybody loved it so damn much. So, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay hidden.